Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this video here is going to be one of the beginner guides videos for Baldur's Gate 1 that I'm putting into my beginner's guide on my website. So in this video, I am in the Siege of Dragonspear expansion pack, and I am in the Temple of Baal. So this is one of the, I guess you could consider it like an end game zone of Baldur's Gate 1, considering the fact that it is a part of the Siege of Dragonspear. However, a lot of the information that I'm going to be giving you in this video is going to be useful for outside of Siege of Dragonspear as well. So the first thing we're about to do a very hard boss. We're going to be fighting the Mind Flayer boss up here, which is one of the harder fights in the Siege of Dragonspear expansion pack. And I want to show you how easy this fight can be with the proper amount of preparation through buffs and summon pets. So what I did is I used my Cleric Viconia, and I also used Edwin to make animated dead. So I have a few animated dead skeletons right here, and on top of having the animated dead skeletons, I also have a few buffs on my characters. I have Bless, Chant, and Haste. I also have some random buff that the Shaman used. Let me say, Defensive Harmony, I think, is what I casted on her. And apparently my characters aren't benefiting from Bless right now, which is interesting because I'm positive I casted it. So let's Bless again. And you'll be able to see how powerful it is having these buffs on yourself before going into combat. I also did remove Fear, which I think might have either faded or let's do it again. So remove Fear is another one that is very, very useful to use before fighting almost any mages, because mages have a lot of effects. Or a lot of spells and ways to fear your characters and send them flying. And if a character gets feared, it's basically, or if one of your main characters or even your entire group, if they get feared, it's going to basically be game over. And you can't just have characters running around getting beat on and not doing anything. So at the start of a very hard fight, what you're going to want to do is obviously pause like this and plan out what you're going to do a little bit better than just sending all of your characters in there to attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of my skeletons onto the Mind Flayer because he's the hardest enemy, and Mind Flayers have a really annoying ability called Devour Brain that I think it's 3 hits, and then they devour your brain and your character dies. So obviously we don't want that to happen. And aside from the Mind Flayer, the other most annoying enemy here is going to be the Mage. And the reason mages are most annoying is because they're unpredictable, and they can do a lot to your party. They can fear, stun, hold, confuse. They can do a lot. And they can deal a lot of damage, too, to your party. So they really just need to be taken care of in a reasonably quick manner. So what we're going to do is we're going to send all skeletons onto the Mind Flayer. And the mage here is Jan Redmoons. And then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight our party, and we're going to send our party to attack Jan. With my main, Viconia, I will put her on Shalyn over there since she's the one who opened the door. So let's see what happens when we unpause. Everybody will rush in. They're fighting the Mind Flayer. We already got a few people on the mage. Mind Flayer's down, mage is down. So now I'm going to pause again and reassess, since the 2 main targets that I told everybody to attack are down. I mean, honestly, I could probably just let the fight end at this point because we've basically won. But if the fight was going to be harder than this, I would pause and reassess. Also, one of my characters used Dire Charm, which also is actually a pretty smart thing to do. Now, he's under our effects. He broke it pretty quick, though. So the core lessons of this video are buff up before combat. If you spend a little bit of time before combat just preparing for it, you'll do a lot better during it. Also, another tip, takeaway from this video is don't fight yourself if you don't have to. If you can summon Animate Dead, or if you can do a Wand of Monster Summoning or something like that, and basically create pets to take the hits for you, that is always a smart idea, especially on the harder fights. It's useful if enemies have to break through a wave of pets before they can start attacking you. And not only that, but pets deal a little bit of damage and do help you out overall. So, and like I said, too, the main lesson is buffs. use a lot of buffs before fight. Prepare for the fight. If you can Google what the enemies do, that would be a decent way to prepare. But even if you can't Google, it's your first time going through the game and you just want to enjoy it for yourself, you might wipe a few times. That's fine. Learn what the enemies do. If your characters start running all over the place, make sure you hit R and scroll down in this little window here to see what the status icon is and what it does. So there's like I said, you got confusion, you got hold, you got actual fear, and all of these things can be countered in different various ways. So keep that in mind. The Baldur's Gate series, especially the early D&D series games like this, a lot of it is learning what spells counter what other spells. If your characters get held, you need to look up what spells you can use to remedy that, or feared, etc., etc. And a lot of your early experience playing this game that I am still personally learning myself is constantly Googling to learn what to do and learn what spells do what spells can counter what, and also trial and error. That helps a lot too. But anyway, that's really all there is to it. This video went on a little long. Hopefully it helped you guys out with playing Baldur's Gate 1. If it did, be sure to leave me a like because that helps me out. And aside from that, I will catch you guys around in future Baldur's Gate 1 videos. Peace.